WrestleSlamiverse, and welcome to a fantastic new edition of the WrestleSlam podcast, the only place for your news, your reviews, your booze, and Jews in the crown for this week. Massive week, guys, for wrestling. My God, there was just so much going on. I don't know how we were going to keep up. I know, let's skip Raw. Aha, that's how we'll keep up. Moving on from that, we had, of course, NXT 2.0. A podcast can't go by without a mention of the man, Tony D. Forget about it. Go buy yourself something pretty. Thank you, Tony. I will. Thank you very much. Moving on from that, guys, we had Crown Jewel, we had SmackDown, we had Rampage. Topped off by the return of Phoenix wrestling in Limerick tonight. WrestleSlam will be there. Can't wait to see knock it out of the park, guys. Cannot wait to be sports entertained. Cracking straight in with news, guys. Lots of news this week. I hate starting these on sad notes, but you know, you just kind of want to give your love to like people who really need it and your kind thoughts. Oh! Sending huge love to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. She's off already with her words.
Blooper.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, yeah, blooper. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who underwent surgery this week. Now, apparently he was successful. I think his wife posted up a picture and he had his thumbs up, thank God, because the love I think the wrestling community has for Hacksaw Jim Duggan is just beyond belief. You know, we adore him and we wish him nothing but the best and a speedy recovery. Hope to see you soon, Hacksaw. PWI 150 women's top wrestlers was announced this week, and the EST of WWE topped the list. To be fair, she has had some years since she was called from NXT. She really has. So to be honest, I'm super happy for her. We'll get into her Crown Jewel match because she is something else. But congratulations to her. Also, huge congratulations to our own Aoife Valkyrie, who not only cracked the 150, Aoife Valkyrie cracked the top 100. Huge shout out to our homegrown hero, Aoife. Well done. Cannot wait to see you ramp up that list in the coming year or two. Who else was on that list, guys? Diana Brazzo and the doctor will see you now, Britt Baker, DMD. Calling each other out this week on Busted Open Radio on social media. They want to walk through that forbidden door. Jerry, that's something we want to see, right?
100%. It needs to happen, and let it happen right now. You know what I mean? Let it happen right now. There's a couple of big pay-per-views on the way. Bring them on.
Yeah, that would be some match, to be fair. So, yeah, we're rooting for that. And if any man can make that happen, Tony K can get it. No, okay. And then from that, guys, to the moon he goes for Vince McMahon makeover. Poor Cameron's getting the star treatment before he goes to the main roster. Apparently, he's getting a presentation overhaul, translation, a wash and a shave, before he goes anywhere near the big brands. Is it a case that we should leave something alone, Mick, because he gets over by himself, or is it needed?
No, in my opinion, I don't think it's necessarily needed, but I can't say I'm surprised with the approach they're taking. If you look at the approach they're taking with like Karrion Kross and guys like that, if it certainly follows that trend of trying to make a successful gimmick different before heading to the main roster. Yeah. But no, certainly not needed. I think that's the kind of gimmick that would translate well on the main roster. I mean, most of the gimmicks would translate well on the main roster, but for whatever reason, they just don't seem to want to trust them.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And I think they want to put their own stamp on it. Like, it's, we made him, and it's like, no, he got super lucky. He hit money on shares and stuff and stocks, and he just happened to, or on currency, and he just happened to do it. So they have to put their own stamp all over to say it was us, we created him,
I can totally see him doing a 40-year-old virgin scene with the waxing. Put Cameron Grimes on the bench and start waxing him.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like turn him into like a watered down JBL. Do you know, that kind of a way? I can kind of see that happening too. But look, come here, let's see what happens. Hopefully, if anyone can make it work, Cameron Grimes can. And with regard to Karrion Kross, give us back our Punisher. That's all I'll say on that matter. The artist formerly known as Braun Strowman has been dropping massive hints that he's meeting with anybody who'll talk to him. this week. So there's rumors of Impact, of course, maybe Bound for Glory this weekend. He might make an appearance. And also chats that he's been talking to higher ups in AEW. I'm going to leave that one hang in the air maybe, because I think we'll know a lot more after Bound for Glory for sure, but it could be all just kind of a hype train as well, because he's kind of called a few shots in WWE this week as well. Speaking of AEW, lads, how much do you want to be a fly on the wall or just there on the Jericho cruise that is currently happening? Yeah. I swear to God, if it kills me, WrestleSlam, I'll get on that cruise. Between the entertainment, the matches, and all sorts of shit going down, I would love to be on that cruise. Anyone else really want to be on that?
There's going to be a lot of babies made on that cruise, I'm telling you.
Hi, man, mate, don't even look at me sideways.
You'll have a lot of kids going to be called Jericho in 2022.
Cruise.
Oh my God,
cruise with a Z.
Oh my God, there probably will be like, or you know, Le Champion. Imagine it, Le Champion.
Bubbles.
A little bit of
Oh my God. But so yeah, that's a roundup of this week's news. Lots more to touch on, but I thought, yeah, let's pull some highlights. Straight in, lads, with the pay-per-view this week, Crown Jewel. Now, I know everybody has diverse opinions on everything else surrounding what's not wrestling and what's not sports entertainment, so we'll just deal with that because it's not a political debate or any kind of thing like that. We want to see the wrestling, the matches, the booking, and what's going on in the ring and the build-up. That's what we're interested in. Arguably, the best pay-per-view WWE has put on in Saudi Arabia. What do you think, love?
Easily one of the best pay-per-views this year. And all promotions, not just WWE. I loved every bit of it.
It was a really, really strong card, like.
We knew that before going into it. It was a strong card, and we were really looking forward to a Saudi show for the first time ever. And it lived up to the hype. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it delivered on a number of levels. It really, really did. And not too many major surprises. Jerry, did you enjoy Crown Jewel? That's you, Crown Jewel.
Yeah, I was kind of in and out. Like, to be honest, I kind of caught up a bit late. But one thing I will say is that I should always stay away from a group chat while there's a pay-per-view on, because I fell for many pranks. I was told that Big E lost the title, and I went fucking. I walked up and down the stairs, marching up and down the stairs, and all of a sudden they have it fucking wrong. And I realised then, I think towards the Brock Lesnar match that he actually won. So yeah, I need to stay away from the group chats for pay-per-views. But no, look, it was unbelievable.
Don't let the group chat know you're a bit behind.
Well, yeah, there was a few things, like, you know what I mean. But it was, look, it was great. I'm delighted for Goldberg. I think that's the end of Goldberg's Serrano. I think he's done. I think all the matches were great. You know, I know there's this law in Saudi Arabia with the women have to wear certain stuff. I hope that wall's broken soon, though. You know, I didn't really like that part. Look, I understand there's tradition there and stuff, but look, it was exceptional, and I think all the outcomes were probably right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did have no complaints. You know what I mean? And Big E is still champion, which is good. I love Drew McIntyre, but look,
100%. You know, absolutely, Drew is something else. But we still love Big E as our champion for now. You know, let's let him have a bit of a reign. And cracking straight into the matches, guys. I'm going to throw some random matches, fucking hell, at random individuals. Mick, you were dreading Hell in the Cell. Tell us, was it as bad as you thought it would be?
Yeah, it was alright, wasn't it? It was pretty okay.
Right?
Yeah. For a match I didn't care about at all. It was pretty good. I think Seth Rollins, every now and again, he puts in a performance that just reminds you how good he really is.
Yeah.
You know, that gauntlet match on Raw a couple of years ago comes to mind straight away. But
Agreed.
you see it again in this match. He rocked it in this match. You know, I think when I watched it back, it was clear that he did a lot of the legwork in that match. And yeah, obviously Edge is no slouch either. Like, he's a great veteran. Like, so they both did their parts, but Jesus, Seth Rollins looked $1 million in this match, even in losing. It was one of the big complaints I have about Hell in the Cell is that it can get very, like, Hell in the Cell happens so often now where it feels like a lot of the time they're out of ideas as to what to do and how to keep it fresh. But a couple of things in this match, you know, that bump Seth took the outside through the table, you know, wrapping his foot in the chain, small things like that, you know, made it feel a lot more fresh. So yeah, so pleasantly surprised with that match.
Yeah, good. I think we all were, yeah, definitely. And it really helped to get us more invested in it. As you say, it had become mundane. And I'm glad that they were challenged to come up with new ways to present it to us and sports entertain us, I suppose, really. From that, guy, straight into the homegrown hero, Mustafa Ali versus Mansoor. So there was no doubt in our minds Mansoor was going over with this. But I found it quite weird that Edge's pop was louder than Mansoor's.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought Mansoor was bringing this home, but Jerry, massively surprised by the outcome?
No, not really. I think it's one of their matches, like, it's easily forgotten. And, like, you know, I mean, obviously, look, it's home crowd, all that kind of stuff. Like, he's gonna do fuck all over Raw and SmackDown, or you could even put him to NXT 2.0 and he won't get a decent match. He's kind of clickbait, really, like, you know what I mean, for Saudi Arabia. You know, I don't know what they're going to do with him, to be honest, but no, I wasn't really too impressed with the match, and you were spot on with the, you know, the pops. I watched the highlights because I kind of went back over it again, and, you know what I mean, yeah, I was surprised. I suppose he didn't get the applause he deserved, maybe, you know. But that's probably because, look, he's not really as active as we like him to see. Like, we see all these wrestlers on rosters, and he's rarely active, like, you know what I mean? And they've fucking really dropped the ball with Mustafa Ali, like, you know what I mean? It's shocking.
Criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's criminal.
Mansoor seems to be the only person who actually wins in his hometown.
Yeah, but they've really dropped the ball. Like, they had big opportunities there months ago, and they just dropped the ball. And I don't know what's going to happen. Like, they'd be lucky to be part of NXT fucking 2.0, the after show. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh God! Don't put that out in the universe. That there's going to be that for crazy.
That's how bad they've really. It's sad. I'd say even backstage, I'd say they're both pissed off themselves. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh God, yeah,
one big pay-per-view. Yeah.
There has to be an animosity in the ranks for sure. You know what I mean? Which we'll probably actually come to in a few minutes as well. Coming on from that, then, dear, we had RK Bro.
Mm-hmm.
When he came out in the camel, I thought, sweet Jesus. I mean, like, he couldn't expect anything less, but, like, he was just so happy for himself out in that camel, and I was like, sure, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Some people have Hummers, like, you know, Owl Bro came out in the camel, taking on AJ Styles and Omos. Feelings?
Seen the match before. I've seen that spot with the RKO off the springboard from AJ Styles 3 or 4 times now, probably this year even, not in general, like, so it was a formality. But I thought maybe they would have broke up AJ and Omos at this stage, like, and give AJ a singles run on Raw maybe, and give him a chance, you know, put Big E over.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with them going forward, because they can't continue. They can't keep continuing this feud now. Like, it's done.
Oh, it is. It's done to the back bollocks. Yeah.
And unless they're putting Omos over as a singles run, you know, star, I don't know what else to do with them.
Yeah, it's. Look, let's see how it moves forward. As you say, I think we've seen this movie before a couple of times. Tay, shout out. From that, we had the finals of the Queen's Crown tournament, which the qualifying matches totaled less than 15 minutes, just an FYI, because there's always going to be a rant of the week, women's division, it always will be for the foreseeable future. That said, right call. Zelina Vega as the Queen is the right call. Can you imagine the promos that superstar is going to cut? She's phenomenal on the mic, and it was absolutely the right call. I am delighted for her. She totally fits the bill, and superb code red finish to win the match. Shout out to Doudrop as well, because that would not have been easy to sell with the size difference. So yeah, happy with the right outcome, but let's make the matches longer. Thanks for giving them 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was
moving on. Sorry.
No, it was under 6 minutes, which was kind of mad. But, like, this, like, they have to fucking drop Doudrop. Like, it's insulting. Like, just change the name. Like, I don't like it one bit. To me, that's near bullying. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck wants a name Doudrop? Like, you know what I mean? It's like right call with Selena Vega becoming, you know, the queen of the ring, and I'm all for that, because she's had a shit couple of months, especially 9/11 there, like, you know what I mean, where she was dressed backstage and ready to get that match. But yeah, get rid of the name Doudrop, and this whole bullshit, like, we might come to it later on with Keith Lee changing the name again. They need to stop it. It's a fucking joke. Like, it's insulting, and I'm sure, you know what I mean, she doesn't want to be called Doudrop either. Like, you know what I mean? It's very insulting, you know.
Totally.
She calls herself Double D on Instagram.
That's what I was going to say. Stick with Double D. I love Double D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Double D. It's brilliant. It makes her sound some way like she could destroy someone without sounding like something that I ask for in the shop for a quarter of out of the big old sweet tubs. That's what I feel like I'm asking for. Do you know what I mean when I'm saying dewdrop? It's ridiculous.
Double D, Triple H.
Double D. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah. So look, hopefully they'll take the fucking hint, and I'm not even sure if I can address the whole Bear Lee, Keith Lee situation. Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, right? Was it a great match? It was an all right match. But I have to give props to, I think it was Tyson Kidd. No, actually, sorry, it was Jason Jordan who done the production on this match. I thought it was produced very, very well without making, firstly, Goldberg injuring himself, or secondly, injuring anybody else.
Killing.
So, killing. No, there was no death. Couldn't believe it. But happy that it was produced in a way that, worked in his favor, because we all knew he was going over. Happy with this?
Yeah. Solid match, two big beefy boys beating the crap out of each other for whatever it was, 10 minutes or whatever they got. Goldberg doesn't normally get 10-minute matches, like he normally gets, one up to 5 minutes and done, like kind of thing. Like, so I'm glad that they actually got some offense in for both of them, and the spot off the stage was crazy for somebody his age. Like, he shouldn't be taking, Bobby took the brunt of the bump, but Goldberg could have landed on his head or fucking rolled over and broke his neck, so they sold it well. And it doesn't hurt Bobby to lose this match. He lost to Goldberg, but these matches are just done. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Whole new storyline on Monday Night Raw. And that's it. Move on.
Just vengeance for poor old Gage. God help us. He was just destroyed. Destroyed. Poor Gage, who's probably, let's face it, 37 by now. Moving on from that, we went to the King of the Ring finals. Finn Balor and Xavier Woods. Saving this one for you, Mick. Tell me all about it.
Oh man, good match, man. And you couldn't expect less from guys like that. In fairness to Finn Balor, even though he knew he was putting Xavier Woods over, geez man, that guy can work. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I kind of caught between. I'm stuck between whether I like the winner or not, because, geez man, WWE just love shitting on Finn Balor. Like, they love shitting on him, and he really needed something. I think anyway, he needed something just to fucking legitimize him again. Because taking everything away from him at this stage. And no, it wasn't to be. Xavier Woods got the win. And fair play to him. He's probably the only member of the New Day that hasn't gotten the recognition he necessarily deserves. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see him get a big win. It'll be interesting to see now how they book him as king. If they do like a king booker on it, or if it'll be a full king gimmick all the time, which could be fun. But I'm more worried about what Finn Balor does at this stage now, because he's like, there's nothing about him now that screams to me that he's able to do anything now. Like maybe he might have another mid-card run with the title or something like that, but apart from that, I can't see anything else for him.
Yeah, maybe I think he needs to take a bit of a break and come back in maybe a month or two. I do, because, and for one last final crack at something, because kind of the same on the fence of, I'm not really sure what side to go, because happy that Xavier got it. Not so happy that, to be honest, there wasn't as much of a reaction, because, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, I don't think the New Day means as much to them, to that crowd that was there, as, the last 7-year reign that they've had, stateside and indeed in Europe, so I don't think it meant as much to them as we were like so happy for Xavier to win, but not happy for Finn Balor to take the loss. So yeah, it's a bit of a sticky situation. It will be interesting to see how that one moves forward for both of them. Please don't gimmick the shit out of Xavier Woods and make him look like weak ass. Then we went to Big E and Drew McIntyre. Jerry, this is all yours. We know that you were a massive Drew McIntyre fan, but also like pure cheerleader for Big E. Two big men bashing it out. Like this match?
Well, yeah, I thought fucking Drew beat him, to be honest. As I said in that message, or like when I was looking at the messages, it's like, oh, fucking Big E lost. And I stupidly, because I was in the midst of doing something with the kids, and I walked up the stairs and walked back down. I was like, fuck's sake, right? And I think it was about an hour later I realised that obviously, that Big E was still champion, and I was conned, and I was found out, like. But yeah, it was a good match. I watched over the highlights of that match because I could have tuned in around the women's match with Becky and Bianca and Sasha. But yeah, it was good. I think two absolute warriors. I'm glad Drew McIntyre is still in the picture. But they need to give Big E a good run. I think he's good. You know, he's money when it comes to merchandise, and he's just a great guy. You know, a powerhouse. And I think we're about to see the best of Big E in the near future. I think he's going to have some iconic matches. I think he can really put out 5-star matches. There's no doubt about it. You know, he's kind of not limited himself, but I think the best is to come. We're going to see, right, this guy can actually fucking really, really wrestle, you know, as a heavyweight. Like, you know, he's a big guy. So, yeah, no, for me, good match, you know, great on the card. I think it was the right match before the event, and I'm looking forward. I don't think the feud's over. I think, you know what I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what does happen down the road. You know, we're going to see Drew and Big E lock horns again at some stage in the near future. But, yeah, just looking forward to seeing where Big E goes from here. And who his next challenger might be in the long run.
Defo, the booking moving forward should be good for him because I think it kind of stalled a bit just until we got over the crown jewel hurdle. And now I think like we've kind of like free reign of what's going to happen next. So yeah, rock on for Big E. Triple threat, guys: Becky, Sasha, and Bianca. I will throw it out to you guys, but all I will say is Bianca Belair, one arm overhead press, and that's all I need to say, really. That is my take on this match. That woman is an absolute fucking monster, and I am here for it. She is phenomenal. I'm sorry. She's right up there, sorry, Mick, with Charlotte Flair for athleticism. She's right up there with her for it. I'm sorry, but she is. And give her another bit of work, mate, and she will be level pegging. But aside from that and the fact that Charlotte wasn't in the top 10 for PWI, Mick, how did you feel about this triple threat?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Would have benefited if it was a fatal 4-way with Charlotte Flair, but you know. Yeah, we can't have all things in life, can we? You know, we have to settle with what we have. No, look, you're dead right there. Bianca Belair looked $1 million in this match. I was hoping she'd win. Although I know the draft and everything like that. It was kind of a bit more clear that it would be that Becky would retain. Overall match was very, very good. It was that one arm gorilla press was just Jesus, man, crazy.
Big smile.
Yeah, but like, you know, I think all three of them worked hard throughout the match. Especially Bianca Belair. I can't see her not being a champion for very long. I think there's going to be another reign in her very, very soon. And I hope so as well, because she deserves it.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. Very sports entertained with this match. Guys, then we came to the main event. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Was it all that we thought it would be and more, Jerry?
Yeah, I did like the ending. I think I said it in the group. I think the ending was a bit cliche, like obviously the Uso kick, and then obviously fucking, you know, I suppose the only good part, like the match from the start was brilliant. I just think the ending was a bit lame. I think obviously him and threw the belt in the ring, and he was like, you know, take it. So that leaves, you know, fans wondering, you know, was it meant for Brock? Was it meant for Roman? But yeah, I like the match. I think Brock looks $1 million. I think I put it in that group message that fuck me, he's some specimen. He's the alpha male of the males, as many will say. But look, yeah, it was a good match. I just didn't like the ending, lads. I'm happy with the outcome of Roman winning, obviously. It just shows that Brock can be beat, like, and he's not as dominant as we think. But I did like the ending. It could have been more dramatic, in my opinion. It was just, you should have taken a lot more to pin Brock. You know, he should be hit with fucking steps. He should have been hit with rocks. He should be knocked down by a truck. You know what I mean? That's the way Brock goes down. Like, not with just a kick and a Superman punch or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, totally. bit of a lame ending, but good match.
Yeah, and you'd be wondering as well because, you know, Saudi is bigger than WrestleMania, you know, but they are holding out that match for WrestleMania. So it's kind of, you know, it's as big as, you know, it's bigger than WrestleMania, but nothing's bigger than WrestleMania because it's homegrown. So you know yourselves, there's always a bit of that going on. Speaking of which, then straight into SmackDown. This opened SmackDown again, so a nice continuation from the night before. They must have been knackered. Well, I mean, I'm sure they were sleeping on their lovely jets and stuff, but you know. Roman came out reeling off the accomplishments and how fabulous it is, and Paul is lurking in the corner. We all love a bit of Paul lurking in the corner, you know. So he's reeling off everything, and he's calling out Brock because Brock said he was going to bait him senseless when he got to SmackDown. No sign of Brock. But then we heard that beautiful music, lads, and out came Brock in a lovely brand new lumberjack shirt, which I'm just here for. I adore them. He's just
I bring you seed.
You know what I mean? Lumberjack! I tell you, whatever he's buying, I'm fucking, or whatever he's selling, I'm buying. Here, take all my money, I'm buying it, mate, because he's just an animal. But what I will point out, and look, pay attention here now to this, right? This will benefit you tenfold, okay? This is why affairs do not work, okay? This is why you cannot get away with affairs, okay? So pay attention, lads. This might save your life. Now you saw what happened, right? When Brock, baby mama, found out that Paul Heyman was carrying on with Roman Reigns, right? He walked down that rampage. See Paul Heyman's face? He knew he was caught. Brock found out that he was paying support for the Usos, the babies. You knew it was happening, so of course bitch is going to be mad. Down that ramp, I wanted Brock to take his fucking earrings out and beat the living shit out of someone. This is what happens when you play around. Noted, noted, noted. See what happens? You'll get the likes of Brock Lesnar coming after you. I'm just putting it out there for the men to save your lives, guys. You are very fucking welcome. So this is not over. Brock has been suspended indefinitely. Shades of Raw post-Mania 2015 when he came out and God help us, poor Michael Cole got battered around the place. You think he would have tipped off poor Adam Pearce, wouldn't you? But no. So, yeah, we like seeing crazy Brock. And rumours has it now that this is going to extend to WrestleMania. Is Brock winning the Rumble?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Well, if he's in it, he's definitely going to win it anyway. God help the poor bastard that tries to throw him out, like.
Oh, man, I'll pull the rope down for myself. I'd be like, see you later. Good luck. Best of luck. I hope you win.
He's advertised for Rumble. That's his comeback is going to be the Royal Rumble. So.
But
Yeah.
imagine that. Yeah, no, we just got a brainwave. Imagine there's three fellas in the ring and Brock comes out. Imagine all three just leave the ring. That'd be fucking epic, like.
Oh, man, the amount of shit that needs to be cleaned up from that ring. Good luck.
Yeah.
Comes out as number 30. That's a surprise. That's the big surprise. That's the need to do that. If he's winning the Royal Rumble, he needs to come out at number 30 and just.
That's when we're all at the McCoy Casino and we all fucking erupt.
Take your bets now. Place your bets.
Place your bets. That's the, it's this poor Brock coming out number 30. It's a surprise party that we all knew about. But we'll still be here for it. From that, moving on, Drew McIntyre came out to wave the sword and he doesn't give a rat's out of ass about nothing. He's on SmackDown and called out anyone for an open challenge. Came Sami Zayn, and poor Sami Zayn, God bless his spirits. You know, yeah. Poor Sami. Lovely new music though, apparently. But yeah. Following that, guys, we had the coronation of Xavier Woods from Kofi. Lovely he got something on, I think, the home soil as well. I think that was needed because, as mentioned previously, I don't think it lived up to the hype in Riyadh the night before. So happy to see it. We had Mansoor and Ali again. Was this necessary?
No.
Was it not finished the night before? So I'm not really sure why we needed that again. I found that quite strange. So I'm not really sure why that happened.
Yeah, the same results again from the night before.
Right? Yeah, so I'm not really sure, minus Karate Kid, so I'm not really sure what was going on there. So yeah, right, okay.
They weren't ready. They weren't ready for their new show, like their debut show, and all these new stars. I know Mansoor and Ali came over from Raw, like, but you know. That's
a great point. That's a really, really great point. Why? Because we had promos from so many people. You could tell that they weren't ready. It's kind of like, this is coming to SmackDown, this is coming to SmackDown. We're like, no, they should be on SmackDown already. With NXT 2.0, you fucked everybody into the ring. You know what I mean? And we all kind of got ideas of who was coming in all these matches. But now we're getting a load of promos. Ridge Holland, Aaliyah, who else? Angel Garza and Humberto telling us how attractive they are. Not my opinion, not my personal opinion. It's their own. Hit Row had a squash match.
If you didn't know,
you know now.
Now you know.
Now you know. Whatever. Yeah. Now you know. But I don't know. I find it hard. What do you think? Is it hard to kind of talk about these matches because we're not really sure what's going on?
Yeah, everything's up in the air.
Yeah.
It's quite up. Yeah, SmackDown was up in the air. It opened so strong for 36 minutes with Brock and Roman, but then it was like, it was kind of, I don't know, we just kind of like, we need to show these faces because, the draft is now live. Like, we've only had a year to plan for, but we're not ready. Give us another, I don't know. It was a bit of a shakshuka is what we'd like to call that. Christ almighty, lads. Take it away, love. Happy Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura for the 7th time.
Since May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move on. There's nothing to say about it.
Like, Jesus
I don't want to talk
fucking
about it.
Christ, somebody change the fucking tape. It's stuck in the ghetto blaster. Change it. So, yeah. Oh, Christ, I was just about to say, and I'm just going to take it down a notch, and then we had the handover of the titles.
Terrible.
The fuck was this? The girls handing over the titles. Lads, come on. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm going to be back for that. Oh, I'm going to let you start this out. Oh, I'm taking my belt and
Stop it. Fuck off. I'm sorry. I
That was
don't know.
a great impression. I'm begging.
You know,
It actually fucking sounded like it to a T. Like,
but I was just like, this is like watching, like some of those cartoons that you just can't understand.
Did they do this just to bump up Charlotte's title reigns?
Oh my God, did you see Diva Bible on Twitter? Let's just have loads of matches to get Charlotte up to 17, please. She didn't even
do it, man. Well, no. Who else did you have for it, like,
Nah, stop. I don't care. Just
bad SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right into Rampage, lads. It wasn't a great show, to be fair, so let's hope it improves going forward with all the new talent and feuds they've acquired. Commentary, we had Excalibur, Chris Jericho, Taz, and someone else who I can't remember. But lads, can I just say...
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Do you know what? Chris Jericho commentating on wrestling like it's the first time he has watched wrestling. I absolutely love it. What a way to invest new fans who flick the channel. Chris Jericho is like, 31 years wrestling now? And the way he sells stuff, and he's like, oh my God, he's got a chair. And you're just like he's never seen it before. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. What a way to have such a love for your craft. Straight into that eliminator tournament, Orange Cassidy and Will Hobbs. Mick sad Will Hobbs didn't go over.
It's surprising that Will Hobbs didn't go over. We are like with Orange Cassidy. He's not the guy you'd expect to, or even a guy you need to progress in a tournament. He is what he is. His gimmick is his gimmick, and there's only so much you can do with it. And it's hard to take him seriously because he doesn't take himself seriously. So I can't take him in this tournament seriously. Yeah. I thought it would have been a good opportunity to give Will Hobbs a bit more of a push. He's especially after the CM Punk loss as well, just get a bit of heat back on him. But no, Tony Khan saw it differently, and it was an okay match. There's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, true story, to be fair, but a bit of a shame. Anna Jay and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, were up next. I thought this was a good showcase for Anna Jay. I liked it. I really, really liked that. She didn't let go of her submission at all when Britt went up to try and break it off the ropes. I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was a really good showcase, and I'm glad that she's getting some airtime as well. Nice to watch that because it was a nice little teaser up and a warmer for what was about to happen. Andrade El Idolo versus Pac. I'm sorry, is Pac not just undeniable? Fuck's sake.
He's one of the top guys in that roster for sure.
Dear God, and I'm so glad his push is coming. I think it is because I know there's a lot of travel stuff with COVID and stuff because nothing he could do and it was probably paused, but I hope to God they are pushing that man to the moon. Jerry, Pac, unbelievable match with Andrade.
Yeah, I love him. I absolutely love him. I love both of them, to be honest. I think they're both going to be future AEW champions. But yeah, I love Pac. He's met him in Neptune in Cork, met him a few times over the years. Great guy, very quiet, doesn't do interviews, keeps to himself. A gym fanatic, you know what I mean? The shape he's in is incredible, lads. Mm-hmm. You can punch him, he'd break your hand, he's that, physique-wise, he's unbelievable. But yeah, I want to see more of these matches between the two of them. It's a match I probably won't get sick of, obviously, look, I don't want 10 of them, 2 or 3, you know what I mean? But yeah, incredible, 100% behind the two of them, and love them, yeah.
Curious to see if they actually team up with him and Cody against Malachi Black and Andrade. Or I don't know, is that going to be a partnership or what? But it's a nice little up to Malachi and
as good as the match was. As good as the match was, I wasn't a fan of what happened afterwards. I just didn't understand why. I didn't understand why Malachi Black was involved. He's just Andrade just paying for friends again, or what's the story there? Is Malachi Black the kind of guy who accepts money for these kind of things?
Yeah,
he's a mercenary. He'll kill people for cash.
Yeah.
He's the John Wick of AEW.
Yeah. I think it's a very elaborate way to just get Cody on TV and promote the match for him. promote the match. You know, I
Agreed.
thought it was very transparent.
Totally agreed. And we could all see what's happening, especially as you said when they come out at the end. It was just so it's going to be interesting to see who was booed and who was cheered going forward, but could definitely see a match between those four. Huge shout out.
Cody got a good pop last night though.
He did. I was surprised at that, but I wasn't sure if it was because it was more that he was protecting Pac because they put on a really good match, because when they were doing yay and boo punches, nobody knew who to yay and who to boo for between Pac and El Idolo. It was kind of strange, but I was still sports entertained. That was fab. Huge shout out to Armed, #Armed Anderson. Thought he was fantastic. That made me giggle when he was coming down the ramp. And definitely, I think, trying to confirm Black as the heel. That, as always, was our WrestleSlam podcast. The week in a nutshell. We will be back during the week. We will be at Phoenix tonight, living it up for sports, entertainment, and wrestling here in Ireland. So hitting the road later on. Oh yeah, we'll have an old quiz with Liz as well. Don't forget to check out our WrestleSlam YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed already. What are you doing? Get on it, where you can see me chatting with the inspiration, and you can see Jerry chatting also with Joss Alexander ahead of Bound for Glory. So for myself being sensational Queen Lizzie, Booker G, fat times. He's got kids, Jerry Collin. Someone give Michael the Brand Stone a chance. Just one is all he needs. Guys, have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.